Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Returning to Light with Julia Treat. That's me, your host from juliatreat.com. Yes, you heard me right. juliatreat.com is back in business. Holy cow, it has been several years since I've been able to say that, and I didn't realize how emotional I would get today when I was building out my website with the domain juliatreat.com. A lot of you might not know, but my website was hijacked about, I'm thinking it's 5 years or 4 or 5. I don't know. It's been a few years. It was hijacked, and they ended up somehow taking my domain name. They purchased it out from under me. It was all so crazy what happened, and then they wanted $1,800 for my own domain name. They wanted me to pay them $1,800, and I said I wouldn't even pay them $5. You know, they could shove it where the sun don't shine. Well, so that my website was gone. I was banned from Facebook at the time, and just I kind of got kicked off or out of a lot of places. And I know now it was really because I was going to go through a lot and need to, really focus on what I was dealing with at the time, and then coming to a place of what is it I want to do now, and really what I've been getting is just getting back to the basics. All right, so I'm getting back to the basics. I mean, I'm sticking with what I do good, and I'm just making it a lot easier for myself and hopefully others. And so, juliatreat.com, I just launched it today. It's a very simple website. I am offering individual readings, tandem readings to people, past life regression, and my spiritual boot camp. And you can always email me if you have a small family group, more than two people that you want to discuss price and all that stuff. You can just email me. And my email, once again, is julia@juliatreat.com. I've not been able to say that for several years, too. Here's a cool thing. When I sat down to create my website, I just decided I was going to do it on my own. And so I found an easy system and sat down, intuitively created it. Because the reason my last website got hijacked was the person I hired to build my website put bad code on the back end of it, to where if I ever got rid of her or didn't need her anymore, somehow that made my whole website just bad. It was a bad site, didn't work anymore. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it on my own. And so I did. And I just built my website in the past couple days. As if you'll see, it's super simple. I really liked the colors that I came up that just really the system that I used created the colors for me, and I really did jive with them. It just seems very calm and healing, and it's exactly the vibe I'm going for. So that being said, I am now that I know where I want to be and what lane I want to be in, what I want to be doing, I will be posting my podcasts again regularly. And today I'm going to start a weekly oracle card reading. And I use these cards occasionally for myself when I just want to get a message. So when I'm sitting around going, let's just see what the messages are for today. But I'm going to pose that whatever the message is from the cards today, because I am going to shuffle the cards in my hand. I'm using Alana Fairchild's deck. It's the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. Because I feel like I'm the rebel. It only makes sense, and that's why I was drawn to that deck many years ago. And so whatever the message is from the cards today, just know that it will make sense for you. Wherever you are listening in the world, whatever's going on in your life, this will make sense. Somewhere in this message, you will get your message, okay? What it is that you need the most. All right, so I'm just shuffling the cards. You can think of a question if you want to, or you can just be open to whatever guidance, right, is going to come through. Because we're really just calling on that divine guidance, that whatever it is that we need to know right now in our life for moving forward in faith and trust and love, and just the knowing that we are always, always watched over. We are always watched over. We always have this beautiful energy watching over us and wanting to give to us. By the way, guys, I am also back on Facebook. Okay, I didn't even finish the story. While I'm shuffling the cards, I'm still shuffling. something, that little voice, that pops in my head that gives me an idea, that intuition, that was like, look, search for your domain name again. And I thought, man, it's been like several years. Let me just go see if it's available. And it wasn't, just not too long ago. It was $1,800. So I searched for it, and sure enough, it was right. It was available, and it was $1. Freaking snagged it. I was like, yes. And before that, I had gotten the hit to get onto Facebook again. Now, Facebook sent me a message and said, you are banned for life. Don't even try to apply to be back on Facebook because it'll never happen. That basically was the message. But there was that little intuition, that little intuitive hit. And these all started coming when I decided I was ready to get back to work. I'm doing air quotes work because my work is, I feel so blessed to be able to do what I do. But it's when I decided I was ready to get back to work. I had done my healing. I had gone through the stuff I needed to go through, and I was ready to get to work, helping people again. All these intuitive hits started coming because I said I was ready. See, so right there may be a message for some of you that maybe you just feel like you don't know what direction to go in, or you feel lost, or you're on a hamster wheel because you just haven't proclaimed what it is you want. Like, this is what I'm going to do now. I said I am ready. I am ready to get back to work and help people with what I can do. Okay, so I'm back on Facebook. You can just look under Julia Treat, and I am quite active there. Lots of things going on there. It's great. So getting busy back to work, and I'm loving it. I'm doing readings. I didn't even announce. I hadn't even announced yet that I was back to work, as far as like the website and all these things coming this week. And people were reaching out to me to book appointments because, see, I put it out, right? The universe, I'm back at work. They didn't hear me say that. Maybe their soul did, but they didn't hear it somewhere online. They just got the hit that they needed or wanted a reading and reached out to me. So that's how these things work. And I want to say this too. I posted something on Facebook the other day. Maybe I'll just pull it up. I do have our card sitting here. It's sitting here, and I see the card. And I'm going to share the message with you as soon as I pull up. I think it's important that you hear what I posted the other day on Facebook. Let me find it here. Because another thing, as I am revamping my spiritual boot camp, and it's being launched now, that things are coming up for me to try. I would just say that, and it'll make sense here when I read this post. Here we go. So this is my Facebook post, and this was the 12th, right? Today is June 16th. So on the 12th, I wrote this. The funniest thing happened this morning. As many of you know, I'm revamping my spiritual boot camp, and I've been experimenting with different manifestation techniques before falling asleep each night. I never teach anything I haven't tested myself first. Last night, I decided to keep it simple. As I drifted off to sleep, I said, I wake up winning. That's it. I wake up winning. I didn't define what winning meant. I didn't tell the universe how it had to happen. I simply claimed it as my truth and allowed myself to feel what winning would feel like for a few moments before falling to sleep. This morning, while drinking my morning coffee, I clicked on one of the online casino games that I occasionally play. Yes, I do, guys, because they are sometimes just fun to spend 5 minutes on those silly games. The casino I clicked on, they give away free sweeps coins every day. And over the past week, I had accumulated about $4.50 worth of free coins to play. I played their free coins, and less than a minute later, I had turned it into $234.76. I immediately redeemed it, and it's already sitting in my bank account. I literally laughed out loud and said, thank you. The lesson? Most people block their manifestations because they're attached to how they should arrive. I don't. I leave the door open. Money, opportunities, ideas, connections, miracles. The universe gets to decide the delivery method. My job is to align with the feeling and get out of the way. Okay, so, and I have a PS here. I'm not suggesting you gamble your money. I used their free coins. The point isn't the casino. The point is that when you stop controlling the how, life has a funny way of surprising you. So I wanted to share that with you, and maybe that's something that you want to start doing. Start whatever it is you're going to say at night before you go to sleep. People don't realize that we manifest a lot when we're sleeping. And so when you're going to bed worried about everything or the next day or whatever it is you got to worry about for the next day, you have just set yourself up for that day showing up like that. Okay, worry brings more worry. Angry brings more angry. Resentment brings more resentment. Sadness brings more sadness. Grief brings more grief. I know because I just was in frickin' grief for 2.5 years. I was telling someone, I did a reading for someone yesterday, and she said I did a reading for 12 years ago. I was like, wow, it just amazed me. So she had a reading, and I said, and the message came through just to get out of grief as soon as possible. And I told her, I said, I know now. I had to see what that side's like. And I said, and it's very dark. I wasted time. I wasted time in grief. So here is our message for today. Wherever you are in your life, your journey, whatever's happening for you, the card is number 5, and it is follow your own rhythm. I'm going to read it to you as soon as I find it here. And this is the message. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, and in your heart, and even your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense when it is time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward, and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it's time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are more gentle, spacious, or nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythm of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive, energetic exchange. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. All that you will miss out on by trusting this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. So now I'm going to read something aloud, and you can just listen and feel the vibe of it if it vibes with you, and proclaim it for yourself if you wish. I now release any unhealthy attachment to the structures, routines, and belief systems of others that are preventing me from accessing and honoring my inner sacred rhythms. May I be assisted through unconditional love to know the truth of my own timing. I love myself enough to give myself rest when needed, to trust in my own timing and not feel forced or rushed. I believe in myself enough to take healthy, inspired risks and action when the timing feels right to me. I trust in my inner rhythms. They are wise and helpful. Through unconditional love, so be it. You may now wish to stand up and close your eyes. Be aware of your own energy. What does it feel like now? What does your body want? Is it to move, to curl up in a ball and rest, or to open your arms and dance around the room with joy? Perhaps you'd like to give yourself a reassuring hug. Take a moment now to do what's needed for yourself based on your feelings. If this is easy for you, great. If it is hard for you to know what it is you need, even more wonderful. This means you are open to learning something new about loving yourself, and it will become easier with practice. Again, that's the number 5 card in the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. I'm going to tell you that message was all for me because that is exactly what I just went through. It totally made sense for me. And, I couldn't get back to doing this until I was ready. I had to be ready. But the moment I proclaimed it, just to the universe, to myself, all of the doors just flew wide open and everyone started coming in. I hope that the message spoke to you. I hope that you received everything that you needed today. If you need anything from me, whether it be a reading, past life regression, or even joining my spiritual boot camp, just go to juliatreat.com. Email me if you have any questions or concerns or need a different service. It's julia@juliatreat.com. The light in me sees the light in you, and it is divine.